arrival of His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Malaysia, and honorable guests, please rise. The official Wawasanku song. Please be seated. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Salam ilmu, keikhlasan, kecemerlangan UNIMAP. Salam Malaysia Madani. Guten Abend. His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Malaysia. Datuk Professor Technologist Dr. Zaliman Sauli, Vice Chancellor of UNIMAP. Respected guests, and last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Selamat datang and a very warm welcome to the Ambassador Talk series held at the Auditorium Tuanku Said Faizuddin Putra Library, UNIMAP. Herzlich willkommen, seine Exzellenz under UNIMAP. Wie geht's Ihnen? Mein Name ist Hafiz. Today we are truly privileged. Thank you. Today we are truly privileged to have such a distinguished guest among us. It is an honor to have you here with us today, Your Excellency. Today's visit holds great significance as it allows us to further strengthen the existing ties between University Malaysia Perlis and Germany. This talk will provide an excellent platform for the exchange of knowledge and ideas, promoting a vibrant academic environment for our students and faculty members. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Datuk Professor Technologist Dr. Zaliman Sauli, Vice Chancellor of UNIMAP, to deliver his welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good afternoon. Salam ilmu, keikhlasan, kecemerlangan UNIMAP. Dan salam Malaysia Madani. Guten Tag. His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Malaysia. Management of University Malaysia Perlis, rakan-rakan ketua-ketua Jabatan Persekutuan dan Negeri, distinguished guests, head of department, staff, students, ladies and gentlemen. So it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer to University Malaysia Perlis, UNIMAP. So we are truly grateful that you have been taken the time to visit us today in our Tuanku Said Faizuddin Putra Library. So let's give a big round of applause to His Excellency. University Malaysia Perlis, or UNIMAPS, is Malaysia's 17th public institution of higher learning. Back in 2001, we began as a university college under the name of College University Kejuruteraan Utara Malaysia, KUKUM by then. So for your information, His Excellency, Kukum at the time was established based on the German facultural model, which emphasized on applied practical learnings, combining lectures and lab session for every academic subject. So currently, UNIMAP is one of the 4 members of the Malaysian Technical University Network, or MTUN, which our niche area in engineering, technology, science and related areas, which emphasize on electrical and electronics. His Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, in July 2022, I had the privilege to joining a working trip to Germany with the Ministry of Higher Education. So during this trip, we signed MOU with OTH Regensburg and Technics Hochschule Cologne, which is focusing on expertise sharing in microelectronics, nanoelectronics, artificial intelligence, and electrical technology. So I also visited the Mercedes-Benz Untertuken plants and Porsche Zentrum in Stuttgart, both remarkable experience that left me very impressed by them. So we are also proud to highlight one of our staff members, Mr. Ismail Ishaq. Is it here? Oh, stay in Germany. One of our staff stay in Germany, Mr. Ismail Ishaq Ibrahim from the Department of Mechatronic Engineering has been awarded the DAAD scholarships under the bi-nationally supervised doctoral degree schemes. So as part of this program, he will be spending 1 year in Germany at Technics Hochschule Cologne, which is the Cologne University of Applied Sciences. So conducting research in artificial intelligence for thermal comfort applications. So just to add on some information for your knowledge, His Excellency, we also have 2 other staff who completed their postgraduate degrees from University of Bonn and Technical University Berlin. She's here? Satina? Satina, ada apa? Lupa dah. Ana Haji Suko. Shazmi. Shazmi and another one. Tak mari dah? Tak masuk dah? Ada. Shahnas and another one? Arif. Both 3 of them from completed their postgraduate in German. His Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, UNIMAP has long-standing collaboration with German industry since 2015. We have worked closely with B. Braun Medical Industry, which their CEO by then, Madam Anna Maria Browns, even serving us as adjunct professor. Earlier, you just visited our state-of-the-art TWET labs, which feature industrial standards facilities from Siemens and Festo. So Mr. Tindaro Danze, CEO of Siemens Malaysia, has been a great supporter to UNIMAP, visiting UNIMAP so many times to award professional certifications and deliver the CEO talk series. So we are also proud of our growing relationship with Infineon, a leader in the semiconductor sectors. Many of our students intern and work with Infineon. Last year, more than 20 of our 2024 graduates were hired immediately at Infineon's in Kulim after graduation based on the National Graduates Tracer Study 2024. His Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we are eager to strengthen our partnership with other higher institutions in Germany and industry leaders through potential collaborations, including dual degree programs, joint research, staff and students mobility initiative, industrial internships opportunity, and various others. So before I end my speech, I extend my gratitude to all those who have contributed to the success of our relationships over the years. These efforts will greatly benefit both our countries and set up the foundations for continued success. Thank you and Dankeschön.
Thank you, Dato, for the welcoming speech. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our distinguished guest for today. His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer studied economics, law, and history at the Albert Ludwigs University in Freiburg from 1982 to 1989, later earning his doctorate in 1996 with a focus on constitutional history. He began his diplomatic career in 1990 after training at the Foreign Service Academy in Bonn, marking the start of a global journey that would take him to diverse postings in Japan, Albania, Saudi Arabia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kosovo, Uganda, and Russia. Now serving as the German ambassador to Malaysia, Dr. Blomeyer actively promotes economic cooperation, cultural exchange, renewable energy, and educational initiatives like the German dual vocational training system. Beyond his professional accomplishments, he is also known for his deep appreciation of the arts and his musical talent. Yes, His Excellency plays the piano. Am I correct, His Excellency? And now, the moment that we've all been waiting for, please join me in giving a warm welcome to His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Malaysia, to deliver his insightful speech. Please welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. Professor Dato, technologist Dr. Saliman bin Saouli, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Malaysia in Perlis, professors, students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. When I was invited to talk to you, I asked, well, what should be the subject? What would you like me to talk about? Then I learned I should talk about the German educational system and the chances to increase cooperation and see what is the German system like. Now I come here and see you know already everything. Now you have best contacts to German companies, to Infineon, to Siemens, to B. Braun. You have lots of colleagues among yourselves who have been in Germany for months and have made internships. So now I'm asking, should I change my speech? If you had a piano here, I could play something for you. Well, I will try my best to entertain you anyway. And I start with the general relations, bilateral relations between my country, Germany, and Malaysia. These date back to the 19th century, and it began all in Penang. We had a number of Germans who migrated to Penang, and they were merchants mostly. There were artists among them. One of them, for instance, designed the first postcard which was ever created in Malaysia, and still you can see some copies of them, for instance, in the E&O in Penang and Georgetown. Then Siemens, for instance, is already in Malaysia since more than 100 years. Many other companies followed suit then in the 70s of the last century, also they went to Penang, and they contributed to the uprise of the E&E industry in Penang. And up to today, I can say economic relations are the backbone of our bilateral relations here between Germany and Malaysia. We have more than 800 companies operating in Malaysia, and unlike those who are, for instance, in Singapore, they are really operating here. That is to say, they employ, they do research, they also teach, they do TVET, and what I think is not very common in Malaysia, they pay taxes. So there is a big number of companies here working in Malaysia. You know some of them, and they are also organized here. We have a Malaysian-German Chamber of Commerce, and with about 400 plus, 450 almost now, members. We have 3 different German business councils. German business councils are loose associations of business people. They are in the Klang Valley, they are in Penang, and then they are in Johor Bahru, who come together on a monthly basis to exchange experiences. Our embassy is also participating at it. We have a GTAI, that is the German Trade and Investment Information Service here, which is charged with transporting information about the economic development from in Malaysia to Germany, so that German companies there are also informed. But we also have structures in Germany itself which deal with Malaysia. The biggest and oldest one is the East Asia Association, Ostasienverein, which once a year invites for a glamorous dinner in the beautiful town hall of Hamburg. And it was your prime minister who gave the keynote speech last year at that event. So they also have a commission for Malaysia, and I'm also in exchange with them. And we have the Malaysian-German roundtables in Germany. They are in several cities operating and also providing information about our bilateral economic relations to companies interested in taking up business with Malaysia. They are in Düsseldorf, they are in Frankfurt, in Munich, in Berlin, so they are in charge in Germany for our economic relations. So having said that, I must say we are not limited to bilateral relations. We also have political relations which have intensified enormously the last years. Up to a certain point, when I arrived actually in Malaysia, I was told Malaysia is the best kept secret of the German companies. Because, yeah, there were so many German companies there. They know how good it is to make business with Malaysia, but there was no political exchange. I arrived in COVID, so one couldn't do very much in that time. But then, I think it was in 23, after COVID, it started. We had a visit of our president here. He also went to Kulim, for instance. He went to Kuala Lumpur, and also he went to Borneo to Sarawak. And for the colleagues of the Wisma Putra, it was quite exhausting experience to have a 3-day visit on 3 different locations, but it was not less exhaustive for our embassy. But we were very happy that it took place. Last year started with the visit of our foreign minister, Annalena Baerbock, to Malaysia. I must say our former, because she went out of office last week. We have a new one now. And we had the visit of your defense minister in Munich at the Munich Security Conference in February 24. And a real highlight was the visit of the prime minister in Germany, Anwar Ibrahim, with 3 line ministers from the foreign ministry, from the MITI ministry, and the Ministry of Entrepreneurship, They came for a whole week to Germany, and it was that occasion that at that occasion that the Prime Minister delivered his keynote speech at the East Asia Association. So there is a lot of exchange. We also had 2 economic delegations from 2 federal states, one from Baden-Württemberg, the other one from Saxony-Anhalt, who came with their ministers. So I think that we are now on a good way. Actually, our Chancellor even should have visited you in February, but that didn't happen then because our government was dissolved this year. Yes, this is so the political relations are, I can say, in an excellent state now, and I hope that it will continue so. But we also have enlarged our relations and intensified them in other fields. For instance, security cooperation. Security cooperation is done by the military attaché of my embassy, and we had 3 major events last year. The first one I liked especially. It was the visit of the German army band to Malaysia, and they played in the beautiful Philharmonic Hall in the Twin Towers in Kuala Lumpur, and their comrades from the Malaysian army band joined them, and they played together. That was really beautiful. And in summer, we had the visit of an air fleet. That is to say, they made a stopover. They had to go from Australia, from a mission there, to India, and they made a stopover in Malaysia, first time ever. And it was the chief of our Air Force who flew in personally in a fighter's jet, and the chief of the Malaysian army also sat down in a fighter jet and went up into the air to welcome him. And so they came then down together, and it was a big celebration. And in October, we also had a great event. A frigate, the frigate Baden-Württemberg, visited Malaysia and made a call of port in Port Klang. And your defense minister came to our reception there, and it underlined the importance of our military cooperation, which has intensified in the last year. Also in the field of the United Nations system, we have intensified our cooperation. For instance, you have had a seat in the Human Rights Council in Geneva for 2 years, and we have a seat there too. So we exchanged in this gremium often our opinions and collaborated there very closely. If you look at it, you can see Germany and Malaysia geographically are very far apart, 10,000 kilometers. And I must say, the Germans do not know very much about Malaysia, and the Malaysians do not know very much about the Germans. Of course, the people in this hall excluded. They are all specialists in this field. But it is true that we don't know very much about each other. But what I found out during my term here is that we have very much in common, which we should become aware of. Politically, it is very clear. No? Germany and Malaysia both are countries which are medium-sized powers in their respective alliances, in ASEAN, Malaysia, and the European Union, Germany. They are very much dependent on international trade. They are in favor of free maritime routes, sea lanes, for their economic activities. They both rely heavily on the system of international law, on the United Nations system, and they want that the international law and order will be maintained. And I think this is a good reason to cooperate, beyond also economic issues. And we are willing to strengthen this. When I came here, the German government had issued policy guidelines for the Indo-Pacific. In these policy guidelines, we as ambassadors, we were charged for the countries of the region to fathom out in what fields we could strengthen and intensify our cooperation. And of course, in the field of economics, it is not necessary. Of course, you can do it also in this field, and you should do it, and we are doing it. But other fields, there you have to start anew. We did this in security, we did this in international cooperation. We also did quite a few human rights projects in your country for stateless people, for instance, for women, participation of women in public offices, and so on. So this is also another field of our bilateral cooperation. And what is also very dear to me is in the field of environment. If you look at this world with its conflicts, if you look at the war in Ukraine, if you look at the catastrophe in Gaza, if you look what happens in Sudan, or at many other points of crises, then you ask yourself, what is this human kind doing? No, they have a planet which is in danger by the climate change and by the loss of biodiversity, and instead of saving the tree on which they are living, they fight each other. This is not possible, and often we are distracted that this is a fundamental challenge for us and task which we have to tackle. So I think that we should not forget it amidst all these other crises, but we should concentrate also on that. And we have Germany and Malaysia have cooperation in the field of economics, be it mitigation of haze, for instance, be it in the fighting of the plastic pollution, being in the protection of biodiversity, and I think we should work on that and intensify also this. But last but not least, we also have the large field of culture and education. And this is actually the topic I should talk about, and which you all know so much about already. I come now to this part, and for that I need to go to my file here to tell you something about the German system, the higher German education system. The German education system is not federalized, not organized on a federal level. It's the federal states who are responsible for that. It's like in Malaysia, we have a federal system. We have in Germany, we have 16 states, and they are in charge of education. And they have a system where the higher education is generally for free. There is no tuition fees. Only very small fees for administrative tasks will be charged. This is different for one state, which is Baden-Württemberg, and it is different for private universities who charge tuition fees, but not for most universities. We have in Germany about 120 universities and 245 universities of applied sciences. And we have 57 colleges of art and music. I think for you it's of high interest to know something about the German universities of applied science. In Germany there is another terminology. I just read it to you how we call them. Actually we call them often high schools, but they are not high schools. We have another term for that, and we say Hochschule. It means as much as a German University for Applied Science. Hochschule für angewandte Wissenschaften is the correct translation of this. Or you might have heard, those who were in Germany, Fachhochschule or a technical Hochschule. They are all universities of applied science. In English, you only have this one term. And they focus on a range of subjects such as engineering and computer science, business and economics, social and health sciences, design and architecture, and they are different than our other universities and also universities in other countries because their class size is very small. They focus on teamwork and projects, so they are very hands-on. And they are skills and career orientated. They are always doing their teaching with a view on what is this person going to become afterwards. They integrate also internships in all the programs so that they are connected to the industry. And I heard with great pleasure that is also what you are doing here. Yes. If you look at numbers, we have about 2.9 million students in Germany. 1.7 million of them are attending the universities, and almost 1.2 million, that is 40%, are attending the universities of applied sciences. And only a small number, 36,000, are attending the colleges for art and music. So if you look at, again, the universities of applied science in terms of research and transfer, they are very much orientated to application research. That's why they cooperate very closely with the industry and the public sector in their region. Maybe I should also tell you something about the structure of the German economy. We have what we call the Mittelstand, which are the small and medium-sized companies, and they are the backbone of our industry. It's not the great names which everybody knows, like Siemens or Volkswagen, BMW, or Mercedes, who are the backbone. It's the Mittelstand. They come up for more than half of the employees, and more than 99% of the companies in Germany belong to this Mittelstand. So it is very important to cooperate with them. Many of them have specialized on specific products, which only they can produce. We call them hidden champions, and they sell these products then all over the world. Yes, and they recruit professors from the industry, and they look also for the experience, the professional experience of their professors, that they also know what is needed in real life. Yes, what you will not find is a presence of these universities of applied science in international rankings, despite their excellence in teaching and their good connections to the industry, and also to the fact that their students, they will all be taken. They will all find a job. But I think for practical purposes and also for the students, it's great to go to such universities. What do they want? They want a student exchange, and if you have student exchange, you have several possibilities. You have, for instance, student exchange with credit transfer. That is to say, you have for a certain term, you are in Germany, and you get a credit there at the university, which is also being recognized here in Malaysia, and vice versa. This always has to be kept in mind that is necessary. They look for places of German students who can go abroad, like maybe to UNIMAP or to other universities, and on the other one hand, they are recruiting Malaysian students for programs. And you should also know many people are a bit afraid of Germany because of the language. And I admit it is not a very easy language to learn. I highly recommend it to learn, because then you have the possibility to study in Germany for free. But even if you don't study German, there are more than 2,000 programs which are in English, and at almost any university in Germany now you find that programs in English are being offered. So summer schools and winter schools are also among the aim of the universities of applied sciences, and double degree programs, degrees. You can make your bachelor or your master, and it will be recognized then, and also applied research projects, for instance, for PhD. So I think it is in our mutual interest to strengthen these programs and to find new areas of cooperation. Yeah, the internationalization is of high interest in these universities. Then I will tell you something about the degree programs in Germany. As I said, you can do it in English, and we have websites from which you can choose. I will leave with you these websites so that you can go into it and find out what is right for you. And they are all listed on this website. And if you go onto it, then you can find out about the details of these programs too. So including tuition fees and practical things. So then I would like to say something about the reasons why you should come to Germany and study, which we highly recommend. It's of course the high quality and the international reputation of our universities. They are world leading in many fields. Then the practice which you can get there, the affordability which I already mentioned, and then Germany is a safe country. You don't have to worry all the time, which is important for the parents. We have a good health system. We have also great culture and leisure time offers. So I think that all students will feel quite comfortable. You have also to acknowledge that Germany had some successes in inventions. I just would like to name a few here so that you can see what has been invented of Germany. We like to call ourselves, maybe a bit bragging, but that's part of the deal. We have, for instance, and it was a German who has invented the printing press. That was already back in 1440. Johannes Gutenberg, you might have heard. He invented it. Or did you know that the Germans also invented aspirin? This is this medicine which we are all taking. That was also back in 1897 already, by Bayer, a company which still is existing. The automobile was invented in Germany by Karl Benz and Gottlieb Daimler, which are names which are all familiar with us. X-rays was invented in Germany by Röntgen. We still call it Röntgen rays, these X-rays. And something which you are doing every morning, toothpaste, was also invented in Germany. Now it's something a bit outdated, but which I could also see here somewhere, is television. Television was also invented by a German, Manfred von Ardenne. The scanner was already invented in 1963, and the MP3 player was also invented by a German. Well, I could continue with this, but it just gives you an idea of the diversity. I said already we have about 2.9 million students in Germany, and 14% of them are foreigners. That's a rather high number. Most foreign students come from China, from India, and interesting enough, from Syria. That's because of the many refugees which we have taken and welcomed in the last years. We have also about 1,700 students from Malaysia here. The number is ever growing. I think 25 years ago we still had double-digit figures, and now we have 4-digit figures for Malaysia. Yes. And the cost of living in Germany is roughly €1,000 per month for a student, which is of course expensive. But if you take into account that you don't have to pay tuition fees, it's worthwhile. And many organizations in Germany, including the DAAD, are offering scholarships. That's more for graduates, and undergraduates, it's a bit more difficult. Maybe I should tell you something also about the DAAD. You all know what it is, DAAD? It's the German Academic Exchange Service. And it's an organization which is since very long has taken up the task of promoting academic exchange between Germany and the rest of the world. It's academic exchange largely between universities. It is a non-profit organization financed by the German government, and it's actually part of the Foreign Office. Headquarters are in Bonn. And they have regional offices, information centers, and information points in about 55 countries. We used to have one here also in Malaysia. Now we still have a lecturer from the DAAD, which is in Kuala Lumpur. And in 2023, the DAAD granted academic and research funding to about 129 Malaysians and to 148 German academics to come to Malaysia. So they are very active. There's also project funding next to the individual scholarships for collaboration with German universities. It's interesting also to look onto a website. I will also give you that website later, where all the projects are listed. And you can see, of course, you can then invent new projects and also come up if you find a partner in Germany. And German universities are also experts in tapping public funds. So if you find the right partner there, they will find the money. Yes, and the RD office in this region, which is in charge for you, is in Indonesia. Yes, then I would like to say a last word at the innovative Germany. As I said, we call ourselves the land of ideas, and Germany ranks number 8 overall in the Global Innovation Index. We are number 1 when it comes to patents by GDP. Not in real numbers, but by GDP, we are the number 1s. In R&D investments by leading German companies, we are number 2 in the world. And this is also interesting for university, citable scientific and technical publications, there we rank number 3 in the world. And number 3, we are also in export complexity. That is because in Germany we have all these companies from the Mittelstand who are doing so much in this respect. Approximately 1,100 publicly funded research institutions are in Germany, and they spend an amount of 130 billion euro per year on R&D. And that is about 3.2% of our GDP. And manpower is also important. We have 750,000 people working in R&D in Germany. And then if you look at the university collaborations which we have, that's more than 35,000 with 164 countries. So it's very much internationalized. Where is research being done in Germany? It's the universities, of course, but we also have non-university research institutes, which are funded by the federal government, and we have industrial research. If you look at it, the bulk of the investments are taken by companies. No? It's about 67%, roughly 2/3 of the R&D financial expenditures are taken by the companies, and 18% by higher education, that is the universities, and then by the state itself, the non-university research institutions, it's about 15%. these research organizations might be familiar to you or to some of you. The most important are Max Planck Society. We have 86 institutes of them in different fields. They focus on research in natural and social science and the humanities, and they, of course, closely cooperate with universities, even if they are not part of the universities. But there's also an interchange. We have talked about it at lunch between also these institutes and the universities. Fraunhofer Society was also mentioned here already. You have contact to them. It's also an organization for applied research and development services, and they have more than 70 research facilities. Then we have the Leibniz Association, which connects 96 independent research institutions, and they are both knowledge-driven, that is a basic knowledge, and applied basic research. And we have the Helmholtz Association. They have 19 scientific, technical, and biological medical research centers. Yeah, so they have then individual doctoral programs where they are often also funded. You get subsidies for them, and structured doctoral programs. The individual ones are supervised by a university professor, and the other ones they have a fixed structure. And the good thing is, but it's also difficult, is that you are free in exploring yourself. Now, nobody is giving you any instructions. You can do whatever you want to. But of course, that is a great responsibility which comes with it. And you, at the end of the day, of course, you have to give account of what you did with your time and with the money spent on you. But you are dependent. You need good organizational skills for that. And self-discipline, but this, of course, one can expect from someone who wants to become a doctor. Yes, one last word about job and career after studying. After graduating in Germany, you are allowed to stay 18 months in our country, in Germany, to look for a qualified work. So, and mostly, if you have such a title, then you will find it easily. We are interested in exchange. We are interested in people also from Malaysia, also from Perlis, coming to Germany and studying in Germany, becoming friends of Germany, and becoming friends of Germans. Thank you very much for your attention.
Dankeschön, Seine Exzellenz. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I will open for a quick Q&A session, if that's okay, Your Excellency. If you have a question, there are 2 mics on the right and also on the left side of the hall. Please introduce your name before your question and try to keep your questions short. Who would like to go first?
Okay. My name is Shazmin. We have met before, all right. I'm glad for you to raise about the RRD just now because one of my PhD students is actually under the Kotetul grant, these binational supervisions grant to be attached with the THKN over there for 1 year. But we do receive some information from the RRD saying that the applications from Malaysia is very low. But it's also very unfortunate to see that the office of the RRD here in Kuala Lumpur has been closed, and all the resources and operations with respect to the RRD has to be dealt in Jakarta's office. My question is, although based on this information, although the applications from Malaysia is quite low, but we believe that the competition is still quite high because we need to compete from other applicants from Indonesia, Thailand, and all other countries within this region. Is there any opportunities specifically targeting for Malaysian, especially to do some research collaborations to do together with Germany's institution? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for this question. I share your grief about the closure of the DRAD office in Kuala Lumpur. Our embassy was not happy about that, and we were writing against it. You can imagine, but these are finally budgetary decisions, which we have no real influence on. But what we could save is the lecturer of the DRAD in Kuala Lumpur. There's a lady, and she is of course also helpful with these things. And you have a great friend in Dr. Schneider, who is the head of the DRAD in Indonesia. He has been in Malaysia before. He knows it very well. What I told you, by the way, just to make this clear, I got from him. I must admit, he is and he's very profound, and he was very happy that I went to Perlis because he said that is what is actually needed, and this partially answers also your question. I'm here also to fill this gap which has been left, and I also ask my colleagues in the embassy to do so. If you want to get a cooperation with a German institution, then you should go onto this website, which I'm going to share with you, and see what are the universities, what are the projects which you can find there, and actually it is necessary to take individual action. And that is to say, you have each university, for instance, has an international office. I see in Malaysia also this is the case. But then you also need the faculty. Not the faculty, because from the faculty, it's the actual project and the knowledge about the project. And you have to contact both. You have to contact the international office and the faculty to go ahead. The international office more for formalities and to really establish a contact with your colleagues in Germany. It's necessary to contact the faculty. So yes, the German embassy is of course also ready to facilitate. We have done that in some cases, and the DRAD is ready to do so. I mean, we all live in a connected world now, and can write emails and WhatsApps and can establish these contacts. However, nothing is more fruitful than the personal contact, and I also invite you to go to Germany and to get to know Germany, and to talk directly to the persons in charge there.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I have another room for one more question, if there's any question from the audience. Okay, if there's no question, I have a question, Your Excellency, if that's okay. Concerning plastic waste management. In Germany, I believe there's a system called a fund system where you exchange water bottles in exchange of money. In UNIMAP, we have this concept of zero plastic waste management here as well. Do you think it's possible to apply the concept of fund system in educational context here in Malaysia? So is it more on the awareness of the community first?
Well, it depends on what you want to invent there at the university or what you want to teach. I think there are good concepts in place, and what is necessary is to find them, to find out about them, I think this is these things, they have been there's been thorough research on them, and we have very good or how do you say, best samples for that. I would study that. I think in Malaysia it is really a gap. If you look at the plastic pollution in this country, and also especially with these PET bottles, that is totally unnecessary. Now, if you put a fund on what's it in English? Fund. if you have to pay an extra amount for the bottle and you get it back when you return the bottle. Yeah, if you introduce such a system, I think the bottles magically would disappear from the environment, because even if some people do have enough money to go without the return of the bottle and throw it away, immediately there will be people who collect it and make a living from that. So that's a low-hanging fruit. And as far as I know, if I may say this in this distinguished audience, everybody knows this. Why doesn't it happen? Because there are also vested interests. No, and I think what is necessary is that you say, let's do it now. Some industries are interested in doing it. There is Maria. Have you heard of Maria? Yeah. Maria could set up such a system, and then this problem is solved.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please kindly remain on the stage, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer, we would now like to invite Datuk Professor Technologist Dr. Zaliman Sauli, Vice Chancellor of UNIMAP, to come forward and present a token of appreciation to His Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, this token symbolizes our heartfelt thanks for your support, your inspiring address, and your ongoing contributions to strengthening the bonds between Germany and Malaysia, especially in the realms of education, innovation, and international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me once again in thanking His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer with a round of applause. Thank you, Your Excellency and Dato. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of our event for today. On behalf of UNIMAP, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to everybody present here today for your cooperation in ensuring the smoothness of this event. Our deepest appreciation goes to His Excellency Dr. Peter Blomeyer, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Malaysia, for his willingness to deliver his talk here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the official Semangat UNIMAP song.
Visi UNIMAP